Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal on 2K Sports, and the NBA season is about to begin. Tonight, we'll see the Charlotte Hornets playing against the Pistons in Detroit. Well, for Detroit, they were swept by this team last season, losing all 3 games they played against them. So they'll be motivated tonight. Shaq, you look around the league. Some of the NBA's best players are often the NBA's smartest players. Do you think basketball IQ is underrated?
I think it's very underrated. If you look at a player like LeBron, you see his strength, his athleticism, and his skill level. His vision and awareness will put him over the top. Great IQ, very unselfish, and I think that's a big part of that, Ernie.
Do you have a high basketball IQ?
Of course I do. They call me the Einstein of big men.
Oh, I'd forgotten.
E equals MC squared, Ernie.
What's that mean?
Don't know.
Me either. Here's Kevin Harlan.
I saw it on a test one time.
I missed it on a test one time.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me in the booth, as always, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. The Detroit Pistons preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. And this matchup with the Hornets, it's their first game of the NBA's regular season. Well, you look at last year, they just could not find their footing, guys, against this team. They dropped all 3 games during the season. So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. They've got Gill. Johnson is out there with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And there's Kemba Walker. And it's Jefferson in at the 5 spot. Thomas goes in. Shot clock at 6. And Joe Dumars the bucket on the assist by Thomas. Dumars got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Pistons. Nobody near Kidd-Gilchrist. Shots good by Jefferson.
It's a great play under the boards for him, and you know that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, I mean, they're there for him game in, game out.
Now here's Thomas. It's Dumars on the wing. He's covered by Gill. Outside Dumars. Knocks down the step back James. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far.
Charlotte was not bad on the road last season. They had some good road wins, much improved now from where they were in years past, but still some room for improvement.
Now here's Walker. An 11-point game for him in the win against Orlando. 6 to shoot. Here's Gill. Here's Johnson. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Johnson's got his first bucket of the night.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
Drummond with a screen on Walker. Thomas passes to Aguirre. Gill with the rebound.
And, you know, you go back to the year before when Charlotte had the worst road record in the league. And last year, just leaps and bounds ahead of that. And a lot of credit to that coaching staff and also those young players growing up and maturing a bit.
And the basket by Johnson.
Well, he's off to a good start, and he's a guy who we know. I mean, if he gets going early, he can give you problems all day.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, Steve Clifford had a few moments to share with me. With this being their first meeting of the year, he stressed to his team to rely on their instincts on the offensive end, saying, "We do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses and not forcing anything. As long as we can continue doing that here, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if that holds true, guys."
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And getting good shots, guys, creating those quality opportunities is something Coach hopes to see here early on.
You know, Kevin, I think he worries sometimes that his guys play too much individual one-on-one basketball. I think he really wants the focus to be on team execution today.
And that's where it always should be, Kevin. And Steve, hero ball doesn't usually end up allowing you to be successful. So let's see if his message got across.
Now here's Walker after the miss from Andre Drummond. And Larry Johnson again. Johnson's got 6 points. Yeah, Charlotte's 18 road wins tripled their total from 2013. But you knew, Steve, they would be better overall.
Well, really, it was their ability to tread water out on the road that gave them that 7th spot in the East. It just shows you how important it is to get road wins.
Charlotte in the lead. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Screen by Jefferson. Back to Walker. He's looking for Kid Gilchrist and finds him. They recover it. Shots good by Jefferson. And Detroit has possession. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And one of the factors in that game was they just couldn't get to the foul line and get enough points from the free throw line to make a difference.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanked off the rim. They were letting them hear about that.
Charlotte leading by 4. Johnson sets the screen for Walker. There's the dish to Johnson. 13 feet away. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Pistons have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Thomas, and he bangs it home with one hand. Tremendous stuff from a guy Clark we think more of for his passing.
Yeah, but he's got tremendous leaping ability and a surplus supply, too.
Well, that's a great aggressive move and 2 big points, too.
And it's the Hornets with the ball, following the bucket by the Pistons. Shot clock at 6. And a wide open look for Walker. And it comes off the front of the rim. Well, you knew that Andre Drummond was oozing with potential, but that keyword, potential, can quite often be as much a curse, Clark, as it is a boon, but he just blossomed last year.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, with the way he moves around the floor at his size, you had to know that if he started to put it all together, he would be a game-changing talent, and he showed flashes of that and made a big leap last season.
Here's Gill after the basket by Detroit.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
And now the first timeout called here. Pass to Walker. Trying to find Johnson. He's got it now. And it's Johnson again missing.
You know, the highlight plays will always be there for a guy like Drummond. Size, speed, athleticism. But, you know, he was able to take on a lot more minutes last year and did not see that incredible efficiency drop-off, which is impressive. I think that could be just a sign of things to come for this young man.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
Yeah, it really does allow your offense to flow better. When you can get out and run and get easy opportunities, then everybody gains confidence.
And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating. That drops.
You know, they're being very one-dimensional right now, going to the post every time. But if it works, you don't need another dimension.
Well, they're taking this defense to task, quite honestly. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Now, here's Dumars. He's got 8. Outside Thomas. Into Drummond. There's the steal. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Walker. Jefferson setting the pick for Walker. Now the pass to Jefferson. Back to Walker. Charlotte moving it around. Pass to Gill. Just 5 on the clock. Unloads from 13. Another shot. Jefferson with the bucket, getting it done inside. Jefferson's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Already they have 8 second chance points here in the first quarter.
Thomas dishes to Dumars. Back to Thomas. Passes it to Aguirre. Outside Thomas. Nails it from the high post. Thomas got his 2nd basket of the night. Charlotte leading by 4. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin, its speed bumps, if you will, some questionable free agent signings. There's talent there, but this team hasn't quite.
Now Monroe. 17 points for him last game against Washington. Johnson, the pass to Lambeer. Stuckey outside. Shot clock at 6. There's the bucket. Good.
On the topic of Charlotte, they brought in a lot of talent, and it was really a difference maker for them. You could tell early on they were different team last year.
Now here's Bogues. Okafor with the ball. Henderson kicks to Curry. 13 feet away. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
Well, I tell you what, the talent in Charlotte is one thing, and it has improved, but they also played a much more aggressive brand of basketball. I thought they did a nice job attacking the basket, and because they attacked as much as they did, they drew a lot of fouls, and I think that's one of the reasons they moved up in the standings in the Eastern Conference.
And the Pistons with possession here. After the basket by Charlotte.
Here's a look at some of the stats for Greg Monroe. Good season for him last year. He put up about 15 points a game last season, 9 rebounds and 2 assists. And he really brings that offensive firepower to this team. Finding ways to score is his specialty.
Yeah, that's his identity, Steve, among other contributions, obviously. But the ability to make plays that put up points, that's a major weapon in his arsenal.
And Charlotte again with the bucket.
How about that? Gets it off right in the face of the big fella. Quick release.
And operating on the perimeter like that negates some of the height disadvantage, too.
Now here's Johnson. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. He dishes it to Prince. Fades back. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
Yeah, and even though it's early, I mean, that's a great sign for them for the rest of the game.
Now here's Curry. Now here's Henderson. Curry attacking, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. The Pistons ended near the bottom of the East, guys, again, but still certainly a ways to go.
Well, a lot of their struggles, Kevin, came from just their inability to close out games against the rest of the conference.
For the Pistons last year, they finished with a 23-29 record against the East. And for the last number of years, they just haven't quite been able to figure out how to take that next step forward.
That free throw, no good.
Well, the Pistons made some moves, but they really just seem to be keeping pace with the rest of the East. I think they have to be patient and allow this young talent to blossom, and they'll have a chance to move up.
And the second free throw, good.
So much of Charlotte's struggles the last few years can be attributed to small things, but they cleaned up one of them last year. They rarely got themselves in foul trouble. They defended really solidly under Steve Clifford.
Monroe with a screen on Bogues. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Curry against Stuckey. Here's Bogues. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. There's the buzzer, and not much scoring at all through the first quarter of play. Hornets lead by 9. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. Hornets leading by 9. Rodney Stuckey and Tayshaun Prince, the 2 wings. Monroe is out there with Lambeer. And it's Johnson in at the 1 spot. They're the group Detroit will start the second with. Now here's Henderson. Kicks to Bogues. 5 to shoot. From deep 3-point range. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
A look here at last year in the NBA where the Hornets ranked. First and lowest turnovers a game. 4th in opponent points per game. And they were top 10 in opponent field goal percentage. That's a good indicator of a team getting it done defensively.
And this is a smart team, Clark, because you talked about the turnovers, #1 in the league in terms of fewest mistakes. And that's when they were at their best. When they controlled the action offensively, they were able to execute without making mistakes, and that allowed them to set up their defense at the other end. And, this was a really well-disciplined club.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Kevin, there's no doubting Charlotte a much improved defense last season. Coach Steve Clifford said to take the next step, we're going to have to become more balanced, play the same level of defense, and do a better job offensively. We need more aspects to our offense. For one, consistency getting up the floor and attacking before the defense is set. Can they do it? We'll see, guys.
They've added some pieces, Doris. We'll see how they do. Thanks. And that one falls for Okafor.
One of the problems for the Pistons last year was they seemed to collapse late in games. I mean, just found a lot of opportunities that went awry due to poor performances in the fourth quarter.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Rodman, he's checked in for Prince. Dumars comes in for Rodney Stuckey. And Isaiah Thomas is subbed in for Johnson.
Talk about the Pistons letting games go late. They were one of the worst teams in the fourth quarter in both defense and scoring.
Offensive rebound. That's good. Lambeer's got his first 2 points.
Good possession there, resulting in the easy one down low.
Hornets leading by 6. And here's Bogues. Here's Kid Gilchrist. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Kid Gilchrist has got 6. Thinking again about Detroit, Clark, it would have been fatigue or just careless basketball that did him in late, but they really did just run out of steam, it seemed like, every game.
Well, it shows that you can play well for 3 quarters, even great at times for 3 quarters, 36, 38, 40 minutes, but you and I always talk about it's a 48-minute game, and you've got to run through the finish line, not to it.
Outside Curry. Chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Now Detroit moving it up. And with that, the Hornet lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from Dumars.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
Now Bogues. Dishes to Johnson. From 13, and that's good for 2. Johnson's got 8 points.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Thomas dishes to Monroe. That drops.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
Johnson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, what better way to retire the Bobcats name than to go out and make the playoffs for only the 2nd time under that nickname. Good job by Charlotte last year, and now it's back to being the Hornets.
You know, though Charlotte, Clark, got knocked out in 4 against the Heat, they had some good games last year in that postseason.
Well, they did, and the injury to Al Jefferson, though, Kevin, really kind of sabotaged their ability to really compete with the Heat. So they weren't able to break the postseason winless streak, but the team is certainly headed in the right direction.
And the Pistons making a change here. Aguirre's checked in, and then for Charlotte, Al Jefferson is checked in for Okafor. Hill comes in for Curry, and Walker subbed in for Bogues. So Johnson hits 2 of them.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second, getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And, you know, this lead is going to grow if they can continue to get to the free throw line.
Now here's Rodman. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And then Johnson with the jam.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And if we see a few more of them, this game could be in danger of getting out of hand quickly.
Here's Walker after Dennis Rodman's bucket there. Johnson sets the screen for Walker. Kid Gilchrist a screen on Thomas. Walker with a clean look, and Charlotte again with the bucket.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. We've seen Larry Johnson really having a great game.
He's really taking it to him inside. They got to find a way to slow him down.
Detroit making a switch. Drummond's checked in. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hey guys, I got a chance to hear what Steve Clifford was saying to his team. He said making sharp entry feeds, getting the ball into the post, and getting points on the low block is going to be critical the rest of the way. He also wants to see a patient offense, work for the shot, move the ball around, and as he told them, quote, if you don't see a good shot, find someone who does. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Walker. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. Jefferson setting the pick for Walker. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. McGuire passes to Rodman, and it's sent back by Jefferson. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Dumars against Gill. Puts up the baby hook. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Charlotte leading by 10. And Walker kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Rodman grabs the miss.
Yeah, he's surprised he didn't make that one because he had a pretty clean look at the hoop.
Kid Gilchrist with the steal. And now Kid Gilchrist running the floor.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right. Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun. Michael Kidd Gilchrist missing 6 weeks last season with a broken hand, and frankly, he took a step back overall. His numbers getting worse almost across the board.
Outside, Walker. Pass to Gill. 6 to shoot. Baseline jumper, and he overshot that one, missing. And a player taken 2nd overall 2 years ago. A lot of pressure hiding on the shoulders of MKG.
You know, sometimes guys fall into draft positions that don't necessarily match their skill level, but you can never question the work ethic of this young man, and you know he's going to maximize whatever he can be as a pro because of it.
Chauncey Billups checked in for Dumars. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Newman's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. Hornets leading by 12. Walker with it. Jefferson a screen on Thomas. The pass to Gill. Johnson goes in. 6 to shoot. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Boy, they look helpless defensively.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
Really an extraordinary game for Johnson. He has 15 points, and he's made 3 shots at the foul line.
Well, that's important. I mean, get to the foul line. Any team, when you can outscore your opponent from the foul line, it's critical, and he's trying to do his part right there.
Here's Drummond over Johnson, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. We talk about players who can dominate the game physically, Steve. Andre Drummond is certainly on the short list there.
Yeah, I agree, Kevin. From day one in the NBA, he's been an elite rebounder and shot blocker and dunker. Very strong and mobile. Plays above the rim. He just has to continue to develop his footwork and his understanding of the game.
That one is no good.
And you talk about Drummond. I mean, he was third in the league in dunks last season. He can out-quick and outrun most big. He beats them to the rim, or he can overpower them and throw it down over the top, so he can come at you in multiple ways.
Well, there you go. If you're going to continue to give up open jump shots,
outside, Rodman. Over to the wing. Aguirre kicks to Billups. Pistons passing it around. Just 5 on the clock. To end the run, Aguirre, good.
Such a difficult shot to defend, that turnaround.
Now here's Walker. Here's Johnson. Rodman with the block. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. Aguirre tries again. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
The Pistons have missed both of their free throws tonight. 0 for 2 so far. That one is off. Johnson, he's checked in for Detroit. Charlotte also making some changes. Gerald Wallace, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Henderson for Gill. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there.
In the second quarter, they've had the right approach. Very aggressive, driving, drawing contact, and creating opportunities at the free throw line.
Well, you know, if other things aren't working for you, Steve, getting to the foul line can be a good place to start to turn it around.
And Billups gets it to go.
Ran his man straight into that screen to open the lane up for the hoop.
Well, it's been a while since Motor City has seen the playoffs on the basketball court, and it just appears as though they've been stuck in neutral the last few seasons.
So it's Detroit now, down by 15. He feeds it to Drummond. Here's Johnson. Wallace with the rebound. Wallace has got his 3rd rebound tonight. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, thanks, Kevin. Andre Drummond fell to the 9th pick in 2013 on concerns about his passion for the game. 2 years later, he certainly answered those questions and then some. He said, "What's there not to love? You're playing the game that you love. Night in and night out. It's a passion game." Kevin, no one questioning his motor now.
The best offensive rebounder in the league, Doris. Thank you. Hornets leading by 17. Walker with it. Billups picks him up defensively. Into Wallace, puts up the baby hook, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
Yeah, that's 4 straight trips, guys, where their passes have ended up in scores. 4 straight assists. Great team play.
Billups attacking, and it's good. Billups has got 4 this quarter.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Great teamwork out there, really helping each other out.
They're playing as one. I mean, they're like a symphony. Everybody in harmony and in beat and in rhythm. 5 straight baskets now have resulted because of assists.
And Henderson throws it down hard.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
Here's Drummond, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
really they've backed off of working it inside. I mean, they haven't gotten it inside as much as they did earlier in the game, and I think they've got to get back to that.
For the Pistons, Craig Monroe. He's checked in for Rodney. Prince comes in for Aguirre. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Chauncey Billups. Curry's checked in for the Hornets. Bogues comes in for Walker. Here's Bogues. Jefferson, a screen on Monroe. Bogues dishes to Henderson. Back to Bogues. Pass to Newman. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. The Hornets on top, up 19. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. Tipping off the second half, here's Steve Clifford's 5. Johnson is out there with Al Jefferson. Then there's Kemba Walker. Then there's Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Gill in at the shooting guard position. Here's Gill. The jump hook. Johnson's shot is off. Thomas against Walker. The feed to Dumars. To the wing on the left. Aguirre kicks to Dumars. Clock at 6. Goes up from the top of the key. Shot is off. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And that game, guys, was really a perfect example of how important your bench can be. I thought the reserve production was really the key.
Exactly. That was where a lot of their scoring came from. It was a big game for the backups.
Now here's Walker. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Walker's got the first points of the second half here for the Hornets.
You know, back in college, Kemba Walker led UConn to the 2011 NCAA championship and was the Final Four most outstanding player that season. Nice to see a winner like him back in the playoffs last season.
Here's Walker. Isaiah Thomas picking up that last basket. Thomas against Gill. Kidd-Gilchrist the pass to Walker. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Walker's got his third bucket of the night. And guys, Walker far and away the leading scorer for UConn in their title run. Last season, second on the Cats in scoring after Al Jefferson. Steve, can he be a distributor as well, do you think?
I think so. You know, he's not an elite playmaker, but for this team, he's needed as a scorer. So he has to find that balance. He's certainly capable of making plays for others.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Passes it to Gill. Feeds it to Kidd-Gilchrist. 6 to shoot. From 13. Can't hit. Nice D from Dumars.
Good percentage shot, though. That's one they'll take any day of the week.
And he gets it to go. Dumars got 12 points in the game.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
And the Hornets call time here.
He did not look too happy about some of the things he saw on the court. So I would expect some changes here.
I think it's the right move, quite honestly. I mean, they just didn't look sharp or at their best out there. So take the time out and give yourself a chance to regroup.
Bill Lambert's checked in for Andre Drummond. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Walker against Thomas. Here's Gill. Outside, Walker, 6 on the shot clock. Puts it up from 12. Rebounded by the Pistons. Thomas got 3 rebounds now in this one. Maguire, no good. Hornets leading by 19 points. Outside, Walker. Pass to Gill. He kicks it to Jefferson. From about 16, Detroit with the rebound.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Thomas. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
And he's got his first free throw of the game. And he knocks down the first one. And so he hits both.
You look at what Thomas has done so far. He's got 8 points and 3 assists.
He's making such good decisions with his passing and also being aggressive and getting to the line by drawing fouls.
Well, that's an excellent combo to have, I'll tell you that.
Now here's Walker. He's got 6. And there's the rejection. They get it back, and Jefferson gets it to go.
Yeah, and guys, it's his consistent shooting that's really helped get his team into a position they're in right now.
Dumars dishes to Thomas. Back to Dumars, and now Rodman inside. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Rodman's got his second basket of the night.
I think he's been kind of passive today, and you know, maybe that one will get him going. I think for them to be successful, he needs to be the one to do the bulk of the scoring.
Now here's Jefferson. 10 points for him, and the shot is good. And that's 17 points for Johnson.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
Yeah, it's something we haven't seen much of at the other end of the floor, though.
Outside Thomas. Upside Thomas. Shot on the wing. That's good. Thomas got 6 in the quarter.
It seems like so many teams try to ignore that mid-range jumper, but they're using it well, and it's opening up their offense for them.
Has definitely given the defender something extra to have to worry about.
Gill with a screen on Thomas. Gill kicks to Kid Gilchrist. There's the dish to Jefferson. Puts it up from 7, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Jefferson's got 12 points in the game.
Had a good, clear look.
Here's Thomas. 10 points for him. He dishes it to Dumars. The pass to Aguirre. Back to Dumars. Shot clock at 6. And Jefferson with the block. And here is Kid Gilchrist. He's got 8. Johnson sends the screen for Walker. Kicks it to Johnson. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That's on Bill Laimbeer. And Al Jefferson, not the fleetest of foot, but a good nose for the ball.
You know, he's always been a terrific rebounder, and I've said before that rebounding isn't about how high you jump. It's about how physical you are and how hungry you are to get after the ball and timing and positioning. And he's actually improved defensively, too.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Charlotte.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
The other thing they're doing, guys, is forcing turnovers and then creating points offensively as a result.
Tayshaun Prince has checked in for the Pistons. And then for Charlotte, Curry comes in for Gill. And it's Bogues in for Walker. Second free throw, no good. Pistons trailed by 19. And Thomas, here we go. That's good.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
Johnson with a screen on Thomas. Curry wide open, and he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Curry's got 5.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Dishes it to Dumars. Kid Gilchrist against Prince. Dumars kicks to Thomas. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Dumars against Curry. Shot from 16. That doesn't go either for Dumars.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
Now Bogues. He feeds it to Jefferson. Pulls it from the elbow. And Charlotte again with the bucket. The Pistons have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Thomas passes to Lambeer. Larry Johnson grabs the miss. Johnson's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Bogues with it. Curry kicks to Bogues. Johnson down low. Lambeer defending. They get it back. Jefferson's shot is off. Pistons trailed by 21. Here's Dumars. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Take a look at what Dumars been doing. He has 12 points and 1 rebound.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. Free throw good, Dumars. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Thomas. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Charlotte. And Dumars drops them both.
They're locked in from the charity stripe this half. Not a miss yet.
And they're going to have to continue that pace, Clark, because they're down, and anytime you're losing, you got to take advantage of every offensive opportunity you have.
He goes up again, trying to get open as Johnson, and the layup good by Jefferson. Jefferson's got 16. Pistons trailed by 21. Dumars kicks to Monroe. Wasted no time on that one.
Like the defense kind of backed off him, and he took advantage.
Hornets have gone 8 of 16 in the third quarter to put their second half shooting percentage right at 50%. Pass to Henderson. Wide open look. It's rebounded by Stuckey.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, there was a time not that long ago when Rodney Stuckey was considered a rising star in the NBA, considered a steal with the 15th pick in the 2007 draft. But after back-to-back disappointing seasons, I think it's fair to ask, have we seen the best of Stuckey already?
And Rodney Stuckey was playing in a contract season, started last season breaking his thumb in his car door, and that required surgery. He missed the first month, and as a result, he never did get back to the level he had hoped for.
And for Stuckey, not an outside shooter, but his percentage of shots around the basket has dropped for 3 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, he's not drawing as many fouls. He assisted at half the rate he did in 2010-11. Some of it was fit in Detroit, no floor spacing. Let's see if he can get back to playing his brand of basketball.
Johnson against Bogues. Here's Jefferson. It's blocked. Stuckey into the lane. He sinks the 11-footer. Stuckey's got his second basket of the night. Hornets leading by 15. 1:14 left in the third. Here's Johnson. Blocked. And he's able to get it back. Good. Johnson's got 4 this quarter. 1:03 left to play in the third. Johnson against Bogues. Johnson outside. Lambeer with a screen on Bogues. 6 to shoot. Here's Johnson. And it's off the back rim. No good. Charlotte shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. Johnson the screen. Here's Bogues. The rebound by Johnson.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Monroe outside. Back to Johnson. Monroe right side. Prince dishes to Johnson. Back to Prince. No one near him. Here's Monroe, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
He's doing his best to carry him, fellas, but he can only do so much. Things would be different for them if he was getting a little more help.
Both teams will make substitutions, and this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Well, they don't expect a lot from him at the foul line. He was in that range below 70% last season.
You know, guys, when you look at those numbers last year for him, I think it does affect how much you're willing to go after contact, because you're a little fearful of getting to the foul line unless you're in the and one situation. Too many trips to the line when you shoot it as poorly as he does actually can hurt you.
Pistons trailed by 14. Johnson is out there with Rodney Stuckey. Then there's Aguirre. Then it's Dennis Rodman. And it's Drummond in at the 5, down low. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons. Back to Stuckey. 5 to shoot. Shot, high post. And he hits the jumper for 2. Stuckey's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Pistons. Hornets leading by 12. Outside, Walker. Now the feed to Johnson. Fires from the wing. Good. Johnson's got 21 in the game. Now here's Stuckey. Into Johnson. It's deflected. Henderson against Stuckey. Johnson sets the screen for Walker, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Look at the turnover situation, guys, and it's not been that bad. Just a handful, and when you take care of the ball like that, that can help you build a lead.
A different look here for Detroit. Dumars comes in for Rodney Stuckey, and Isaiah Thomas is subbed in for Johnson. Kid Gilchrist is checked in for the Hornets. To the left side wing. Aguirre. The 19-footer is on the money. Trying to add a few more points to their lead.
Simply need to just stay the course, Kevin. That's it.
It's been a good course so far.
Yep.
And finished off by Kid Gilchrist.
Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
And why not? I mean, the more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Here's Gill. Rebound, Detroit. Wire's got his third rebound tonight. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Here's Drummond. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got 4 assists now tonight.
You know, when the size advantage is that pronounced, I mean, that's exactly what you should do offensively in this situation. Take it strong to the middle.
Here's Kid Gilchrist. Soft touch off the glass. Kid Gilchrist has got 4 this quarter.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Drummond with a screen on Walker. Drummond passes to Thomas. Back to Drummond. Deflects the pass. Hornets with the rebound. Johnson's got his 5th rebound in this one.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
And Walker kicks to Johnson from 11 feet away. Detroit with the rebound.
You can see how much the defense respects him. I mean, they were all over him on that look.
Thomas dishes to Rodman. Now here's Dumars. Drummond with a screen on Gill. 6 to shoot. Wide open look. Maguire, good. Charlotte leading by 12. And the Hornets call time here.
Analytics has become a huge part of the NBA, and one element of that jumps out at me is basically the cameras that track every movement of every player and can provide info on when exactly a player gets tired to how much of their time on the floor they are actually running instead of standing around.
Bill Lambert's checked in for Detroit. And a switch here also for Charlotte. Jefferson's checked in. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Steve Clifford was going over with his team. He said we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. We'll see how well his point got across, guys.
Johnson kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Walker goes in. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And back to the camera system we were talking about. Some teams using it more than others, but they are starting to find and use all sorts of data, Steve, from those cameras.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear how different teams are using that technology. Some teams use it to check on the club's spacing. They'll see how many times a guy is dribbling the ball compared to the season before. That's what the Celtics did with Rondo. It's really interesting. It's a tremendous amount of data to process, but the trick is, making it work, making it mean something.
And so Walker nails both of them.
Take a look at what Kemba Walker's done. He's got 8 points, and he's been delivering a healthy dose of helpers, too.
Yeah, he really is. He's always looking to make the passes. Head up, eyes up, trying to find the open teammate.
Rodman against Jefferson. Rodman kicks to Thomas. Elbow shot is on the way, and he gets it to go. Thomas got 10 points here in the second half.
That part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Here's Jefferson. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. 18 points for Al Jefferson. Thomas down low, working on Walker. The Pistons working the ball around now. Thomas passes to Aguirre. Feeds to Dumars. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Shooting free throws.
The first one falls. And Dumars drops them both.
He has such terrific form and consistency on his free throws. Beautiful to watch.
Outside, Walker. Out left to the wing. Passes to Kid Gilchrist. Back to Walker. Lambier against Jefferson. 16 feet away. The shot is off. And the Pistons now going the other way. Here's Thomas. Pass to Aguirre. He kicks it to Rodman. And the shot falls short this time.
You really don't want to see him missing those mid-range shots, but when he's open, he's got to shoot it.
Walker dishes to Johnson. And here is Kid Gilchrist. Johnson right side. Outside Kid Gilchrist. Here's Gill. It's hauled in by Dumars.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Lambier kicks to Thomas. Rodman passes to Lambier. Walker against Aguirre. And the pass to Gill. Looking to end his cold spell. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got 6 assists in the game. Now Thomas. Lambier with it. Back to Thomas. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Or the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
From 8. Bank shot. No good. Pistons trailed by 14. Lets it go from 14. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Kid Gilchrist has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Thomas against Walker. On the wing, Johnson. Tries again, and he sinks the layup. And that's 20 points for Al Jefferson.
That sort of epitomized this game, guys. One team going all out, getting rebounds and putbacks, and the other team just dragging.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Al Jefferson signed by the Bobcats last season to a big money 3-year contract. In the franchise's 9 seasons, they'd never had a big man average at least 16 points a game.
Yeah, he's easily, by far their best scoring big man ever. And at almost $14 million a season, he better be. He is, though. He's really a potent scorer in the low post.
Rodman with the ball, and it's Johnson picking him up. Rodman against Johnson. Rodman dishes to Thomas. 6 on the shot clock. Offside Thomas puts one up from 19. Detroit, no good that time either.
And for Jefferson and the Bobcats last season, the big challenge, finding him room to operate inside. Not a team stocked with 3-point shooters, but they found a way to make it work. And Jefferson had a big season.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hey, guys, I got a chance to hear what Steve Clifford was saying to his team. He went over the offensive plan and that it hinges on running things through Jefferson. Their offense is most effective, Coach said, when he is most involved, and they're looking for total involvement from him for the rest of this game. He also told them that he wants to see multiple passes on every possession. He said that was the key to getting the best shot each time down. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist. First personal foul, team's third.
And Jefferson, not really an instinctive defender inside. Joining a Bobcats team that had struggled getting stops in years past, but they made some significant strides in that area under Coach Clifford, and surprisingly, they're one of the league's top defensive teams.
Charlotte leading by 15. Outside, Walker. 1:33 left in the fourth quarter. The dish now to Jefferson. Nice move. And it's good on the layup. Jefferson's got 6 in the quarter.
Well, this is going to end in a lopsided victory, obviously. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness and the ability to close. You really have to give it up for the Hornets.
Nothing like second chance buckets to pick up the scoring pace.
Boy, very impressive the way they piled on those extra points, hitting the offensive glass and coming up with the loose balls.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And you have to look back at this and see what a huge game it's been for Jefferson. He came out and let everybody know that points would be hard to come by with the The way he swatted away shots and protected the rim.
Thomas passes to Aguirre. There's 48 seconds left to play here in the fourth.
He's been a different guy in the second half, guys. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
There's the pick. Jefferson setting the pick for Walker. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Yeah, good call there. You could tell he was moving into the defender when he tried to set the screen.
Yeah, lowered that shoulder, dipped right into him, too. I mean, he was going to be called on that foul either way.
And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Johnson. Okafor with the rebound.
He can't get anything to drop, and the way he's scoring, I'm not sure it's something he should try to shoot his way out of.
No, that might only serve to make things worse, Steve. Sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
From the line, and that one's good.
Well, the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way their home team played here today.
And they shouldn't be pleased. I mean, it's a very well-deserved win, Steve. They came into this building and weren't intimidated at all. They were the aggressors.
Detroit, no good that time either. So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Congratulations on this win, Gerald. And how was this team able to come out and get your presence established?
I think defensively we came out and established ourselves from the get-go defensively. We played aggressive. We took them out of everything they wanted to do, forced some turnovers, and we were able to get out in the open court.
This is a dangerous team in the open floor, Gerald. Thanks for the time. Guys?
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, Al Jefferson.